And we're back. Everyone is now leveled up. So you guys find yourselves at the bottom of this ladder in your room. You've awakened from an uneasy rest. You're not sure how much time it's been. But you feel as well rested as you can be. What do you do?
We decided where we were headed, right, friends?
Yeah, sorry, I was swallowing food. So when they wake up, Ant is going to take a look at the map, look to see where Winterwood is. Just kind of commit it to memory, or at least what he can, and by the time the others wake up, he's going to roll it back up and start eating some food from his pocket. Already missing the hot porridge and bacon concoction that their good friend Davik used to make for them. So just looks the other two. You guys ready?
Biri spent at least part of her night swearing an oath on Nim's memory, and she has bags under her eyes and looks like there's an extra steel to her jaw. She just nods.
If we're gonna go check for whatever's left of Nim, if we still want to do that, I still want to do that.
I agree.
We should probably go back this way. Back through the tunnel.
Quiet and quick.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys make your way back down the 1,000 or so yards of this tunnel, and when you come to the wall, all it takes is a simple push, and it slides out of the way, and you find yourselves back in the cellar. Light is pouring in from the stairs, so the door is broken off the hinges.
Mm-hmm.
When you climb up, you'll note that the front of the building has been smashed. It looks like the inn has taken severe damage, and when you step outside, the first thing that you'll notice is there is a spike with a frozen head impaled on it, and it is that of Nim.
Yeah. As long as it doesn't look like there's anybody, like, or at least no sign of a Dargan.
You don't see anything.
Yeah, he's gonna walk out and go straight to the impaled head. And he'll it's not the gnome head that he's used to seeing and come to love, but this wood elf head was at least an applicable, temporary fix, I guess. But Ant has a couple tears that roll down his cheeks, and he puts his hand on the back of the impaled head and actually just rests his forehead on Nim's impaled head.
Barry's gonna keep an eye on the sky while he rescues the head.
You do, Quint.
Uh-oh, do we lose Robbie?
Oh shit, I was muted. No, Quint has his fists balled, white knuckled, as he watches Ant, and takes the few steps forward to put a hand on his shoulder.
Yeah, Ant sniffs, looking back at Quint, wiping his eyes. And then he'll look at Quint for a moment and then the head again. And if Quint doesn't make any kind of action to do anything with the head...
Just an affirmative nod.
Yeah, Ant's gonna remove the head from the spike.
You remove the head from the spike. What do you do?
We're gonna bury this. At least.
It stood on the other end of the tunnel, but I agree with you. Please.
Yeah.
Back to the other end of the tunnel. Once you climb up, you'll notice that you're alongside the road that runs in front of the inn. And you can't even really see it through the trees, the snowfall. But yeah, you bury the head with no problems. Doesn't take as long. You've only got a square foot to work with. So. What do you do?
All right.
I press F to pay my respects.
Jesus. Yeah.
Winterwood.
With all that stuff, yeah, Ant's going to lead them to Winterwood.
Okay. So you guys make your way along the road. Eventually, based on your map, you know that the road splits, and you come to that. It takes you most of the day, but you keep a steady pace, and you cover the 14 or so miles to Winterwood. And as you approach, the first thing that you notice is my notes. The forest begins to thin slightly, and the dirt path winding through it becomes wide enough to be defined as a road. A small, crudely painted sign by the side of the road reads, "Welcome to Winterwood." Along the bottom, someone has carved a few additional words, "As far from anywhere as you'll ever find." A newer and less inviting sign of human habitation hangs from a nearby elm tree, a human corpse dangling from a noose. It is dressed in rags, and a placard reading "Murdering Dog" is affixed to the shirt.
Whew.
Well,
This place doesn't tolerate any bullshit.
wonder if this is our human-hating friends.
Who knows? Either way, we need to be on our P's and Q's if this is any kind of sign.
You can see that it is a village of wooden structures. It is probably not elves.
And Taron told us that he was suspected of possibly being a demon, a monster. But you're right, Ant. Minor P's and Q's.
This is the last stop. We either jump here or try to find someplace else. Anybody want to turn back now?
Nope.
Yeah.
All right. And then Ant will walk forward, rather determined.
Okay, so as you advance down the dirt path, which is lightly dusted over with snow, you make your way down into the town. There's only about 7 houses that are immediately visible. There's a large, compared to the rest of the buildings, there's a large stone structure straight through. The houses are sort of on either side of the quote-unquote road, and then the tall stone structure is dead ahead, probably about 200 yards, kind of off on its own. And as you approach, the first thing that all of you notice is that there's really nobody out in the street. Like, it doesn't really look like anybody is here.
Does it look like there was any kind of telltale signs of like a ruckus or something, like on the floor, like on the ground? Like
Make a perception check as you guys approach.
All of us? Everybody or just
Yeah.
him? Okay.
All of you.
was it perception or survival?
Perception.
Not even above a 10 tonight so far.
We're like, her.
So
weighing too much in our minds.
yeah, as you guys approach, you don't really notice anybody. Whenever you get into sort of the center of this group of dwellings, you'll notice that there are fresh tracks in the snow, fresh prints, like going to and fro, like you would expect in a small town.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the doors opens, and a middle-aged human makes his way out, and he looks like he does pretty well for himself. He's got decent-looking clothes on, and he will sort of spread his hands to either side and say, "Welcome, travelers."
Hello there. Hello. Hello there. I can't do it. Hello there. Hi.
While Ant is talking to himself over there, Biri's just going to tip her head respectfully and touch a hand to the holy symbol. Like, touch her fingers to the holy symbol that she's wearing.
Sorry to intrude, I guess, but you're coming to look for a warm fire and maybe some way to help out here if needed.
Whenever you say this, he just sort of says, "I apologize. Where are my manners? Welcome to Winterwood. Please forgive our lack of hospitality, but the town has been languishing under the shadow of a terrible tragedy. I'm not sure if you will find the warmest of fires, but if you're here to help,
Yeah, all you have to do is start that fire and start talking, and we might be able to work something out.
absolutely, absolutely. He claps his hands together and calls out, and doors begin to open, and people begin to sort of spill out towards towards the center of the town, and it's probably about 5 or 6 people, mainly women and a couple of children, and you begin to get lit up with a litany of questions like, are we safe? Are there more monsters out here? The priestess, so on and so forth.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Like, Anton holds out his hands trying to make like a placating gesture to kind of like settle everybody down. We'll have to... I don't know, but we can probably find out. But I need a coherent story. We need a coherent story about what's going on, and what do you guys know?
The man sort of gestures to everyone else and says, quiet, they're here to help. And he turns and looks at the rest of you and says, my name is Edward Kidditch.
Edward, I'm Anton Windriver. And these two are my friends, Biri Kepeshmolik and Quint Townsend.
Welcome, all of you. I am probably the closest thing this town has to a speaker. And in that spirit, if you're here to help, I would be beyond the moon to allow you to stay in my cabin and share in our hospitality. Also know that if, you seem as though, he points to your arms, you know a thing or two about the dangers of the area. If there's anything that we can do, you will be barred entrance to no structure in this town. I will see to it personally, and I take responsibility for you if you're here to help in anything you decide to do and deem fit.
Yeah, it's unlike anything I've ever seen out there. Though my view in the world's rather small. But it's quickly opening up. And all we need right now is hospitality. And if you guys are willing to offer it, like I said, we'll work for it.
Yes, come inside, come. He gestures towards one of the houses.
Anton takes a moment, kind of looks around, and then looks at Biri and Quint. Almost as if looking for like a silent, like, yes, some kind of permission to do so. A little out of his warehouse, they know he's not comfortable with trusting people, but yeah, I guess maybe he's going out on a limb because, recent events and just really nowhere else to go.
Biri gives him a nod, it's a good kind of nod. She's been watching these people gather around them with obvious dismay.
So you guys get led into the dwelling. It is, it's fairly nice. It's nicer than Xander's cabin, for instance. And just sort of based on your casual observation, it looks clear that more than he just lives here. He's probably married or with somebody. And there is a fire roaring in the hearth. And he gestures for all of you to make yourselves at home.
Yeah, Ant walks in, looks around, and if he sees any kind of women, he would just give them a small smile and a nod to acknowledge them.
Nobody else is here but him.
Okay, good. But yeah, he'll pull out a seat for Biri and Quint, and then he'll kind of stand up close to the hearth himself, kind of rub his hands together, and just let the warmth permeate him, So.
What's happened, Mr. Kidditch?
There's been a murder.
That fellow by
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
That fellow by the welcoming sign.
Yeah. Son of a bitch.
What did he do? And what remains to be done?
He murdered our priestess. In the temple. The sacrilege.
Why?
We don't know why. He's a monster, a shape changer.
How long has he been hanging there?
6 days, all told.
And not changed shape?
No, he was put to death.
How do you know he's a shape changer?
Because we caught him in the act.
Perhaps you should tell the tale from the beginning.
Okay, well, it was a week ago now, in the dead of night. We heard an awful racket coming from in the temple. And when we got there, the screams had subsided, and a monster was there with blood all over him. And he turned back into that man, our neighbor. His name is Trammel. Like a werewolf.
Ah, I see. That sort of shape changer.
And he found that it wasn't his doing. He was covered in blood, her blood, and we deemed him guilty. He didn't threaten us and accepted his fate. He died with honor, as much honor as a murderer can have.
So, have you had any trouble with Trammel before, or any kind of suspicion that he might be doing anything strange before this? One night he just got the compulsion to head to the church and kill somebody? Your priestess?
It would seem so.
And you deemed him guilty just because he was covered in blood? Her blood?
If you had seen the monster, you would know. He was standing over the corpse.
Sorry, I'm not trying to...
That's not the issue. The issue is we've ended that threat, but there may be more of them out there. He's gone for years without ever showing that to us. He's a pillar of the community, really.
I see.
Well, I'm going to have to take you on your word, Mr. Kidditch. I'm going to need access to his house. with nobody else there to interrupt us and the church.
Done.
Now, as far as have you found anything otherwise out there that causes you concern that deals with this, or otherwise?
Nothing like this, no. It's been relatively quiet.
All right. Well, once we do this, remind me that I have a question for you later.
But not now.
Not now.
Fair enough.
What time is it, OC? You said we walked like 14 hours, right?
No, 14 miles.
Oh, excuse me.
I mean, it's getting to be dark.
He turns and looks to Quint and Biri. Do you guys want to start this investigation tonight or wait till the morning?
I need to spend some time in prayer to have any magics to investigate with. If there's evil, I can find it.
Okay.
But I need to spend time in prayer first.
You'll have your time. What do you think, Quint?
If there's time between now and whenever we start this investigation, I can help the good people of this town gather firewood. That's what I'm good at.
Whatever all of you need to do, it is. We are here to help you.
And if we can help you, we're here to do so.
We are in your debt.
Well, then I think we'll let Biri have her time to her prayers, and if Quint wants to help with firewood, Ant will go with. If anything, to be a lookout.
Okay, so you guys do your miscellaneous errands, and you two are not bothered by anything, although standing sort of at the edge of some of the woods that surround the village, you just get this weird sense like you're being watched. You know, it's as tends to happen whenever you're in a place that has seen a lot of trauma and there might be monsters lurking.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that,
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead. It's not
Nope,
important.
go ahead.
I was going to say, can I use my divine sense before we take the long rest to see if I get any celestial fiend or undead, any place consecrated or desecrated?
You'll recognize the church as a consecrated place, but you do not sense any of those types.
Okay. Thank you. And she's going to change her spell list up a little bit over the long rest.
Okay.
That's what she's doing.
So you guys crash on the floor of the in the just before evening, his wife comes back, and apparently she had been out in the tannery that the two own, and she seems a pleasant enough sort, as he is, and you all rest and awaken the next morning. Edward is already up and doing his thing, making making all of you some breakfast. The wife is gone. What do you do?
Is it porridge again?
No, actually, it is eggs and some venison.
It is literally gone in like 3 seconds.
Yeah, like, you know those scenes in, like, Naruto and other anime where, like, they're just eating at the speed of fucking light?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's what's happening right now.
All right. Now that our belly's full, it's time to work it off. Can you lead us to Tremel's house, Kidditch?
Certainly. He grabs his cane and throws open the door, throws on a coat, and leads you out. And down a side path. It's a good 200 to 300 yards away from the main gathering of structures. And the door is unlocked.
Anton will slowly open the door, kind of like peek inside.
Okay.
Just kind of look around the door real quick. More immediately after that, and then go ahead and walk in. As long as nothing looks too creepy, you know.
Well, the first thing that strikes you is that the place is sort of a wreck. It's a single-room cabin, and whoever searched the place wasn't very delicate about it. Clothing lies everywhere. Personal possessions have been tossed around with abandon. It's just an absolute mess.
Has anybody been in here? I'm sorry,
Yes.
Mike, go ahead.
Sorry, can we roll Arcana? Or I know we lost our Arcana dude. Dang it. Or religion or whatever to know whether... to know some things about werewolves, basically?
No. It's... Yeah, I mean, other than stories, like, you're not going to know, like, any kind of scientific, book knowledge about this is the anatomy of a werewolf. Like.
Okay. Okay.
Looks like you guys had a real go at the place.
Yes, we were looking for some sort of motive or anything that would lead to this.
And you found nothing?
Nothing in here.
What have you found?
Give me just a moment.
Biri, by the way, is standing like she's keeping kind of a watch on the room, standing by the door, ready to, if anything moves or gets wacky.
Yeah, like Anton's gonna try to investigate some,
So what he says is that he lets you know that when the his house his cabin, they found a strange ledger written in a language that they don't understand. And so they put the ledger in the temple, and it's constantly on guard because they think it's a possible like list of other conspirators or something like that. And until someone can interpret it, they are keeping it under constant surveillance. But that's all they found in his cabin.
Did he say anything about the ledger when you asked him?
After he did, he died.
I'm sorry, say it again?
We found the ledger after he was dead.
And he pretended to know knowledge of strange things or strange encounters that might have poisoned his soul without his knowledge.
He tried to tell us that he wasn't a threat, even though he clearly had just murdered that priestess. She'd been savaged, ripped apart.
Did he offer any explanation for why he wasn't a threat?
Not especially. He tried to appeal to us as friends and neighbors.
Well, he tried to appeal to the people.
He gave no alternative.
He tried to appeal to the people that he thought knew him best. I mean, can't blame him for trying. You thought you would actually give him a chance to hear him out, but
he gave no alternative when he had the chance. Which means he's probably protecting somebody. Now, do you see our concern?
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Biri
we need no more devils in this town.
Leans her head close and goes. She was about to say the same thing. So she's kind of leaning down, and he says that, and she's just kind of straightened slowly back up.
Anton doesn't give a fuck. Anyways, like I said, Anton's gonna look around. Like especially like if when he's walking around, he's gonna like try to press his heel to like kind of feel like there's anything hollow under, like maybe like a trap door or under a rug or under the bed, like anything. Like he'll lift up the mattress, like stuff like that.
Roll an intelligence investigation check.
Hey, rolled over a 10.
Hey, well done. That's not over a 10. You rolled a 10. Sorry.
Don't you know how D&D works? It's meter beat.
So yeah, you look around and I mean, you don't really find anything out of the ordinary. Just sort of mundane belongings that you would expect to find in a place like this.
Yeah, after he looks around, he just looks to Biri and Quint like, I don't see anything, guys. Anything that doesn't look normal.
Probably ought to look at that book. Come back, maybe. Sorry.
This Trammell, did he have any family members? Wife? Children?
No. Yeah, he was a loner.
Biri looks she has that expression like why are you lying? And she kind of squints at him and says, he didn't come from nowhere. Who were his people?
He moved to the town. I mean, he has lived here for 10 years without ever giving us any reason to suspect his family lives elsewhere, I would assume. But he moved here alone.
How long has Winterwood been here?
Oh, generations.
All right, let's go ahead and give this church a look.
How long has your family been here, Trammell?
Oh, at least 150 years.
She nods. That's respectable.
Edward.
Fuck. Edward. Sorry. Call him Travel because I'm bad with names. Ask me what my deity is. I have it written down.
Bahamut.
Don't do that. I have it written down. Don't confuse me. That was the last one I forgot.
So you guys make your way back through town towards the temple. The exterior of this temple seems to be made of brick, but the building is thickly covered in ivy, and so it's difficult to be sure. Inside, most of the space is taken up by a large nave.
Large who?
Nave. It's a building structure within the church.
Hmm.
It's like the nook where the altar is.
The pulpit?
There's a lot of words for it.
I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I just know knave is like somebody being like a fool. Sorry.
No, it's Nave. That's a Knave.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, there's 6 rows of benches in the center of the room, and a slightly raised platform equipped with a lectern stands at the far end. Behind the platform is a single door, and there are 2 women sitting on the benches closest to the lectern. And one of them you will recognize is Edward's wife, Lily. And so when you guys enter, they both sort of regard you, and noticing that you are not like villagers, they both sort of stand and kind of begin to move in the way, but then shushes them away.
Can I cast Divine Sense again?
Sure.
Yes, doing that.
You don't detect anything abnormal. This is a consecrated place.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt your prayers if you're praying ladies.
Oh, we're here to make sure no one takes the book.
Well, thank you for your vigilance. Do you mind if I take a look? Or mind if we take a look?
The other woman looks extremely distrustful, but at Edward's insistence, they sort of back away, and you're able to go up to the lectern and look at the book.
Biri's going to touch her holy symbol again and give like a bow to the woman, and then glance at Ant, because she'll go cast Detect Magic on it.
Yeah, Ant will wait for her to do that.
So she'll stride all paladin-y up to the book and cast Detect Magic before she touches it.
It is completely non-magical.
Okay.
There's nothing magical in this room currently.
If that's the case, Ant opens the book.
Okay. You'll notice that it is written in a strange language that you don't understand. The script is in common, like the letters and such, but you don't recognize any of the words or anything like that.
Well, I can't read any of this. I don't recognize none of these words. You want to take a look, Biri and Quint, just in case?
Mm-hmm.
And Ant will kind of like flip through all the pages kind of quickly. See if there's anything stuck in between the pages, or maybe written somewhere.
Any doodles?
Yeah, any doodles.
No, there's no sort of drawings or anything like that. Let me see.
Snails in the margin.
I do see that Tremmel written that he had this book from, such and such date, like they do in textbooks at school.
Did he?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I was like, did Anders say that? Did I just totally miss
Like
it?
you
Like
never,
a
you ever
dumb?
had textbooks in like elementary school or like middle school where they're like, oh, Vaughn had this book from 1991 to 1992 type of thing.
Yeah,
You know?
the front cover of the hard book. Yeah,
Mhm.
That's
or
funny.
hardcover. Yeah.
It was like a rite of passage for that book.
You get it, and you'd be like, "Oh man, my buddy had this last year."
Mm-hmm.
Aw.
Underline answers to tests and shit.
Not me. I just drew beards on people that didn't already have them.
So, who's you're looking at it, Biri?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, can I make like a religion check to see if I recognize any of the words as like things I might have heard in chants or?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you. Plus, I think I have a plus for this. Yeah. 1 whole 1.
Better than none.
15.
Yeah, you recognize anything that you're seeing in it.
Okay.
Again, it's just it's not even like real words that make sense.
Okay.
What about the body of the priestess? Has that been buried already?
Yes.
And I'm assuming she stayed behind in this room over here. Sorry if you say anything, I missed it.
Yes.
Can we have access to the room, please?
By all means. He gestures to the room. It's unlocked.
Yeah.
Did he say why the priestess? Why her?
Did he say? No.
She's asking whether Trammell said why he might have killed the priestess.
No.
Anton goes in, looks around.
I mean, it's a pretty bare bones room. It's got a bed and a place to hold vestments and some very basic things like a small table and such, some books, but nothing stands out to you.
Would that be like the same answer with an investigation check?
Would you like to roll an investigation?
Yes.
Please roll an investigation check.
Oh, hey.
What'd you get?
23.
So, as you look around, you notice that there is a loose brick, and whenever you pull it up, there is a small sack, and within it is a finely crafted amulet and a handful of about 15 total.
15 gold.
Mm-hmm.
Does the amulet have any kind of like symbolism on it, or other iconography?
Whenever you opens up, and there's a painting inside of a human male.
Is there religious iconography in the church to say which deity they were worshiping?
Yes, you would know this as a Leela, Leela, goddess of nature.
Okay. Okay.
Question: did it look like the dude hanging from the rope?
No.
Okay, rules that out.
In
So
fact,
it's just a pic.
in fact, it doesn't really look like anybody you've seen so far. So,
Okay. And it's just a painting of this male?
mhm.
Okay. Ant will replace the brick. There's nothing else inside the brick or anything? Like the space?
Nope.
Alright. Ant will replace the brick, pocket the gold, but he'll walk out with the amulet in hand.
Mhm.
By any chance, do you guys know who this individual might be? And he holds out the amulet to them and then kind of looks expectantly at each of them, like as if trying to gauge their reaction.
Yes.
They each take a turn looking at the picture, and all of them say, "No, doesn't look familiar to us."
Was she
How long-
married?
No. Vow of chastity.
How long she was the priestess of this place?
No, since she was young, she was groomed for the position, essentially.
Is that typical? Would I know that?
I mean, some faiths practice that.
Mhm. Okay.
She was an elf, so I mean,
So that doesn't strike us as unusual. Like,
no.
Okay.
It's more unusual that she would have an amulet of a picture of a guy having taken a vow.
Wait, sorry, say that again?
Unusual that she would have an amulet depicting a male in a locket that implies some sort of connection, and it's a human, not an elf.
Mm.
So, forbidden love, maybe.
I'd like to do some kind of an investigation check on this part of the chapel to see, because she was killed in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just looking for signs of what happened, or
There's a big dried blood stain on the floor.
okay, like marks in the stone. Trying to get a mental image of what did it, or
yeah, there are gouges in the stone, look like claws.
Mm-hmm. So the story of them finding her torn up by a werewolf seems pretty legit based on the signs of death that we find.
Yes.
Okay.
If he puts the amulet on and then tries to read the book, does anything happen?
No.
Okay.
And when I used detect magic, was the priestess's room within range? Would I have gotten something from there if there was something in there?
It's active. It's active for like 10 minutes. So.
Oh, okay. Okay, so as I wandered around, I didn't get any.
No.
Oh, cool. Okay, neat.
The priestess, does she have a home here, or does her family have a home here, or was she by herself?
This is where she lived.
And she doesn't have any other family here?
Not that we know of. She's very devout, but came from elsewhere. Was assigned to this temple.
Do you know where she came from?
From West Haven.
Interesting.
How long ago?
Oh, years. 75 years, maybe. When my father was speaker.
Had she friends in the village then?
Of course, everyone's friends in the village. Unless they're monsters.
He had no friends then.
As I said, he was a pillar of the community. Until we found out he was a monster and a murderer.
And he never mentioned anything strange or anything that might have led you to believe that something strange might have come into his life. She never did.
No.
Neither of them have met anyone strange from out of the village, or you haven't seen any strange shadows passing in front of the moon, or
What?
no other signs of evil, or...
No, as I said, it's been quiet until this horrific incident. He was a hunter. He may have encountered something out in the woods, but he never mentioned it. He didn't come back with any obvious wounds.
He's been keeping a strange book. Never got drunk and spoke in tongues?
At least not to my knowledge.
She nods.
Well, Kidditch, ladies, I like to hang on to the book for now. And this amulet.
Well, you don't take it.
I'm sorry?
If you leave. As long as you don't take it, if you leave.
No. If I do leave for any reason, it would be part of the investigation. But otherwise, I don't plan on taking it, and just not coming back. You have my word on that.
Edward.
There's a strange look that passes between them, as if all of a sudden not suspicious. Like all of a sudden you're coming into town and taking this book, like first thing that you do. And so if they think that it's part of a conspiracy, you might be in on it, sort of a look.
Mm-hmm. If you really feel that uncomfortable, you can say so. But if you need us to help...
We would prefer you didn't take it. You have access to it here as much as you need. But we would prefer that you didn't leave with it.
Do you keep it in the chapel to protect it from evil influences? Are you afraid it might taint something else?
We have no clue what it is or what it portends or anything of that matter. It's just it's the strongest building in the place. It's all we have that might protect it.
Indeed, this is a holy place.
It's the best we have. We're worried about conspirators coming to take it. You understand our concern.
Do you get many travelers?
Now and then, yes. Merchants, hunters.
None who were friends with or seemed close to Trammell?
No.
Well then, we'll leave it here. Do you think that'd be okay, Biri and Quint, if we leave it here for now?
Affirmative nod.
Nobody else gets access to the book, though.
No, of course not.
And I need to go see the body of Trammell.
What for?
because I need to do a thorough investigation. I want to see what's on his body, what's on his person. I mean, clearly it shouldn't matter to you anymore. He's...
Oh, no, absolutely, if you insist.
I would like to stay here in prayer while you inspect the body.
Sure. Quint, you staying here with Biri, you come with me.
Quint's a grown. Biri's a grown. Biri's a grown up. She can handle herself.
All right, then take a walk with me.
Mm-hmm.
Biri, you gonna be okay?
Of course. With these good people, they've lost much. I would honor their loss and...
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Ant just nods and then gives Quint a look like, follow me, and then they'll be off to the entrance of town.
Okay.
Though, before they go towards the entrance, like, Quint is going to make a small, detour and kind of look around the grounds of the church, just in case.
Okay. What are you looking for?
Like any sign of movement, maybe like a weird way the ivy's growing. Look to see if there's like any kind of like clear ways to the forest and back from here and there to to here to there, and if there's any kind of anything that looks amiss.
Okay. Roll me a wisdom survival. Okay, so as you sort of look around, you don't really notice any tracks or anything like that. But what you do notice is that there is faint of like a musky odor, like an animal had marked the place in a couple of places.
Good sniffing.
Yeah. Anton will kind of like go to the place where he kind of like smells it and see if it's, Well, I can tell you what, Quint. I haven't been peeing here, but somebody else has been.
Is that right?
Whoever it is, been eating a lot of fucking asparagus.
Ugh.
It is pungent, but it's definitely a sign of marking their territory.
Do you think they were right about this werewolf?
I mean, if it is a man-wolf, I imagine his piss would be just as strong as this. Jesus, it is bad.
I wonder if we... No, never mind. That's a terrible idea.
I mean, we got fuck all for answers, man. Just spit it out.
If such a creature still existed and we claimed its territory and its place, shrug. It's a terrible idea. That's just us peeing on stuff again.
I mean, it's a good thought. I mean, then again, they said they haven't had any problems with other shape changers, so. But still, like, when you have an idea, like, you should just spit it out, man. Seriously. I mean, especially in a case like this. Like, I'm not really an investigator, but try my best. I can't. Like, we got to work together, even if it seems silly. Just say it.
Okay.
Why are you taking that tone of voice with me?
Why? What the fucking? What is this shit? You sound like Grimold.
I'll take that as not a compliment.
That's my dad.
Yeah, but you... Never mind. Anyways. So, is that all we smell here? Is that all we get? Is that all we get? It's just the marking of the territory?
Yes.
All right. And does it look like there would be any kind of, like, quick way to get over here and away? Like,
I mean, it's pretty out in the open. There's, lightly wooded areas all around the village, but everywhere has pretty easy access to the woods.
Okay. All right, Quint. We're going to go to the front, cut that body down, see what we find on him, and if we don't find anything on him, we'll come back to Biri, and then we'll gather her up, and then we'll take a stroll around the perimeter of the village.
Sounds like a plan.
Sweet. So yeah, they make their way to the body.
Okay. There is a slightly bloated body hanging from a rope.
Oh gosh. Ant takes out some kind of cloth and covers his face with it. You might want to put on some kind of face mask, because when that thing drops, it might explode.
Gross.
Very gross.
I mean, I'm just being a bro.
Thanks, bro. And yeah.
Do you want to climb up there and cut it down, or do you want me to see if I can hit the rope with an arrow?
Oh, I'll get it.
It's probably safer for you up there.
Yeah. And Quint will take some of the cloth from his shirt and put it over his nose.
Yeah, it's going to back away a little bit, so that way, in case the thing does explode, he doesn't get splattered with it.
Okay. So you cut the body down. It doesn't explode, fortunately.
Oh, thank God.
Mm-hmm. So, but how does it look like they killed him? But did they, like, cut his throat? Like,
They hanged him.
oh, okay. Straight hang him. Gotcha. So, yeah, Ant's gonna start patting the body down, checking any pockets, checking, like, his fingernails and stuff.
Make a perception check.
I'm gonna pee on Biri from here. What my perception? Plus, oh. Come save the day, Quint.
What'd you get?
5, because I rolled a 1.
Go smell that thing,
Shit.
Quint.
1d20 plus 2. 14.
Quint, the first thing that you notice is that there's actually a that's sort of running through the weaving of the rope.
There's what running through the weekend of the rope?
There's a strange vine running through the weaving of the rope.
Whoa. Quint's going to take the hand axe that he still has drawn from cutting down the rope. He's going to poke at the rope. Say, there's a vine growing in it. Just weaved in there.
Ant takes a knife and cuts away the rope, trying to get a better look at the vine.
Roll a nature check.
Oh, can I please?
Yeah,
Mhm.
man. Fuck it.
Oh, yes.
Both of you can.
Proficiency.
God damn it, dude. Ah. But good
Crit.
job, Quint. I got
All
a
the-
6. Quint got a 22.
Okay. Quint, you will notice this based on your forays out into the woods with your dad, that this is wolfsbane.
That seems smart.
Wolfsbane.
I guess they were taking every precaution, weren't they?
Yes.
But yeah, you guys don't find anything on his person.
You know, it'd be really weird.
What?
Quint, if everybody else here was shape changers and he was the only one not.
I swear to God, if that happens.
You want to make a bet? 1 gold piece?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think. No, couldn't be.
Anyways, we'll make this interesting. Alright. Did you notice anything else? Because I didn't see anything else on him.
Nope. Just a dead guy. Got any other stops on the way?
I don't. But, let's take this bullshit off of him and take him into the woods.
Right.
That's gonna make the townspeople unhappy.
I mean, do you want a smelly body? Like, we don't even have any... I mean, you're not even there.
Speaking of, what are you doing, Biri?
So Biri did want to actually spend some time in here praying and trying to get a sense of the place, but she also wanted a chance to hear what the ladies talk about while they're guarding the book. So she's just going to kneel and pray quietly over the blood, I guess, and kind of see how the ladies are occupying themselves. Because if they're sitting here all day, they're obviously talking about things.
It sounds, from the sounds of it, it goes from talking about how Lily had only just married Edward, and like a couple weeks before this tragedy happened, and how she's adjusting to married life, but also speculation about who might be a monster living among them. Just sort of gossip in general.
Does any of it seem like, speculating about who might be a monster, that's kind of what she wants to hear.
Mm.
Do any particular names come up that seem like they carry any particular vehemence, or that both ladies seem to be like, dude, that guy, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they have any real basis for their guesses.
Okay. And do they seem to mention any kind of that was good. Yeah, you just said it. What they might, like, what criteria they might be looking for in their witch hunting?
Not really. They just
Okay.
will mention like, oh, those hunters, they can be out there for days at a time. You know, yada yada yada.
Okay. Thank you.
So Quint and Anton turn back up at the church. So we're still on for that, Quint?
Yep.
Shake on it.
Yeah. Quint brings up his hand.
Yep.
My man.
I was going for 2 minutes and there's bodily fluids again.
Yep, and they shake on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's consecrated and stuff in the church now.
Yep.
And they go to Biri.
So she'll come out when she hears them spitting outside. Say a gentle farewell to the ladies and thank them for letting them in. And then, is there anyone around? Or do they have a chance to talk kind of quietly if they move away from the windows?
Yeah, they have a chance to talk.
Can I assume that you guys, that we fill each other in?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then, even as far as the bet that nature of the bet that they made. And,
The rest of the town.
Mm-hmm.
No way. I don't think so.
I don't think so either, but it'd be fun. It's just a gold piece. And so we're gonna check out the perimeter of the town, see if we find anything. Okay,
You smelled markings here. Did you smell any markings around his cabin? It seems like you'd mark his own place first.
I was gonna go check that next, but in case we ended up going into the woods, I didn't want us to go alone and leave you here by yourself.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the first thing they do is they go to check to see if he smells the same markings around the Tremel's cabin.
You don't smell any urine, but you do see some claw marks that look like animals marking their territory.
Well, if that's the case, I wonder what else in town is marked.
Just check out the rest of the town too, see if there's any markings or.
I mean, to be fair, the speaker did give you permission to go into any house.
Let's check out all of them.
Mm-hmm.
There's only like 7, right?
There are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. There are 11 structures sort of in the in-town, quote unquote, and Edward informs you of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the outside, just sort of like within spitting distance, but not like around the main thoroughfare.
Let's check these other ones in spitting distance first.
Yes. Keeping a special eye out for more markings.
Mm-hmm.
This happens to be one of those, by the way, Tremel's house. So there are 6 others.
Oh, I see.
Okay. So you guys go to the closest one?
Mm-hmm. And we'll basically keep doing that until we reach all of them.
Okay. So this small farm is home to the Bastones. And outside, you'll notice that they have a small plot that they would be farming vegetables in the warmer months, but they have a small herd of sheep and goats, and this looks like a place where the town might get some of its dairy. Whenever you knock on the door, a young man opens the door, and he looks rather surprised to see you. Like, he obviously hasn't been in the loop that you've arrived in town. And when you tell him that Edward gave you permission to investigate to bring this nightmare to an end, he lets you inside.
Gives him his thanks.
So you are introduced to his wife Nadi in ADI and their son Russell.
Oh, little fella, Russell.
What was the first name?
Kent.
Yeah, you cut out at the first name.
Okay, thank you.
Kent.
Kent, Naughty, and Russell.
So how can we help?
Well, we're just doing some investigations, and some of the things we found led us to this area, and we're just making sure we do our due diligence and, you know, to see if we find anything. We'll try not to disturb you much, but, you know, while we do our investigation. So if you don't mind, you know, we'll, you know, like to take a quick look around and be out of your hair as soon as possible.
Oh. Okay.
We're concerned.
Well, we have no secrets here.
We're not worried about that. We're concerned that he might have marked the priestess for some kind of attack, and we want to make sure no one else is marked similarly.
Hmm.
Have you noticed any?
That's strange.
Have you noticed any claw or scratch marks on your home or stuff, or anything that smells strongly of
Piss?
animals?
Animal
Piss.
musk.
Piss.
No.
But the technical term is piss.
I mean, I'm no hunter, but
Any particular nights?
it wouldn't surprise me if there was. The local woods have always been home to more wolves than one would usually expect to find in a place such as this.
Any particular night you find your animals out back more restless than the others?
We rarely have trouble with predators.
Interesting. Interesting.
It's, I mean, one night a few weeks ago, I saw an especially large wolf. He was chasing several smaller wolves away from the farm. I almost thought it was like he was protecting us.
Did this wolf look like anyone you know? And he just kind of like looks over at Ant.
All right.
Did this wolf look familiar at all?
It was a wolf. It was a big wolf, but it was a wolf.
What color was it?
Gray.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Oh, okay.
Anyways, Ant's gonna look around. If he picks up anything, he puts it back. Stuff like that. Anything out of the ordinary. And then if there's nothing in here, he's gonna check around the outside. as well.
So
Okay.
as you're doing that, you don't find any markings or anything in this place.
Mm-hmm.
While you're doing that, Kent will relate to Biri and Quint that since Trammell was hanged, the wolves seem to have disappeared. Used to be able to hear them. He said since Trammell was hanged, the wolves seem to have disappeared. The night used to ring with their baying, and now the darkness is disturbingly quiet.
Disturbingly quiet. But nothing untoward has happened.
Nope, not since he was hanged. It seems like we've solved our problem, I suppose. Others
Can they
are.
give us a timeline on when... I'm sorry.
Others seem paranoid that, like him, but things have been very quiet.
That night, when they found Trammell and the priestess, who was it that actually found them?
Several of the villagers. The ones closest. They're awakened by the screaming.
I see.
By the way, I sent you finished documents.
I saw it.
Cool.
Yes! The tiefling's a great idea. That's neat. Sorry, Andrew, how long ago... He was hanged 6 days ago, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the couple weeks ago would have been... Okay, thank you.
What do you do?
Yeah, so if we don't see a bunch of markings,
You don't?
Barry will thank them for letting us take a look. And ask that they let us know if they find anything weird.
They will. What do you do?
Next house?
Okay. So you move about a quarter of a mile down a hill, and you'll come to a small, neatly kept shack. When you open it, it is empty. By empty, I mean no one is here. But it is obviously lived in.
Good, we can take a quick look around before they get back. Probably not going to like us being here, let's be quick.
Yep.
Start sniffing.
Claw marks and peace mouse.
Yeah, you find some obvious signs of clawing on the structure.
Oh.
Does it seem similar? Okay.
What about
think-
hair?
Oh, good question.
You don't find anything like that.
Nothing? I'm sorry, you kind of cut out.
You don't find anything like that. No.
Okay. All right. So we find claw marks, no pee smell or moss smell. So, is there any indication of who this cabin belongs to?
You'd have to go ask.
We'll worry about it later. What about the next house?
Okay. So again, you're sort of circling around the village center.
Mm-hmm.
You come across a rather large house. Full family lives here. And again, you are invited in whenever you tell them that you're investigating the disturbances and all of that. Are the Tracers. Bale Tracer is the patriarch. Rika and Shep are his children. And his...
What was that last bit?
Rika and Shep are the children.
One of the questions that definitely wants to be asked is, hey, so we were passing by some houses, and I was hoping to talk to the person that owns that house a ways back in that direction. Who lives there?
Oh, that's Nero.
Mr. Nero.
Nero Hubert.
What does he do for the village?
He's a hunter.
Oh, he spends a lot of time out in the woods. Well,
Yeah, a lot of times, sometimes weeks at a time.
Biri's going to try and step on Anton's foot.
ow.
She's going to try and do it discreetly.
Ow.
Anton, even less discreet than Biri, and she has disadvantage on stealth.
About how old is Mr. Nero?
Mid-30s.
Okay.
He's an outgoing guy.
Mm-hmm.
Well liked by everybody.
What's his family like?
He lives by himself.
She nods.
Is this around the time that he usually goes out hunting? Has he been gone for a while, or?
He's been gone for maybe a week now. Sometimes he goes hunting with Gar Hearth, and he used to hunt with Trammel before, well, you know.
Has he heard the bad news yet?
He left the day before.
What about Gar and Hearth?
What about him?
Yeah, are they still here in the village, or did they go out hunting as well?
Oh, let me see where he is.
Are Gar and Hearth different people?
Gar Hearth. That's you would know that Hearth is the last name. The other woman in the church is Mrs. Hearth, Simone. Yes, he is out hunting currently.
So it's a safe bet that Nero and Hearth are hunting together?
It's hard to say. They don't let us know for sure.
So just when he gets back, so we know when we can ask Mr. Hearth questions too. Where does he live at?
Just down the way here. He points.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Well, like I told the others, like we don't plan on being in your hair for too long. We just want to do our investigation here and get out of your hair. We have permission from Edward to do what we need to do.
Okay, absolutely. Do what you must.
Yeah. Yeah, again, same verse. Second verse, same in the first. Just kind of look around. Check for obvious markings, stuff like that. Maybe even things that might come up inside the building that might be interesting as far as pertaining to the issue. But otherwise,
Yep, you don't find
try to get out.
anything out of the ordinary.
You said nothing out of the ordinary?
Yep.
Okay. Any markings outside or anything?
Nope.
Okay. Keep going.
Go to the hearth home.
Hearth home?
Okay. You would be walking past two other residences.
Might as well be thorough.
Yeah, let's check those two then.
So the first one along the way, you find a shack similar to the other hunters. One is currently there. So whenever no one is currently there. So when you step inside, it's disheveled. It almost looks like it's been ransacked.
Interesting. Check for signs of... Sorry.
Yeah, what Emma was going to say.
So as you look around, you'll notice that there are a lot of like mushrooms and wild vegetables and some herbs and some other plants that are being dried out in the place. But the rest of it looks like it's been turned over. You don't find any obvious marks of like animals marking the place. What do you do?
Are there any kind of like if we check the books, are there like, do they have like an equivalent of the family Bible with the names inside? Does it seem like there's only one person here?
Yes.
Okay.
And of course, if it was asked, I may have missed it, but any claw marks outside or piece mails?
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
What do you do?
Guess we'll move on to the next house unless I could do a quick investigation, check if that matters. But
yes, that's what I was going to say.
Okay. Roll an investigation check.
Can I also roll since Vaughn's rolls are balls?
Sure.
Love you, Vaughn. It's not your fault. Your rolls are balls.
I know.
Testicles.
I don't understand it.
How could this happen to me?
You know, I would like to see a game where somebody just fails all their roles and still manages to like make it through. I think they just get fucked in combat because I don't think you be able to get any farther than that. Anyways,
that's what party members are for.
Unless you fought with like straight AOEs.
It takes a lot of time, but you come to the conclusion that there's really nothing of interest here in terms of what you're looking for.
Any sign? I got a 19. Is there any sign of what whoever ransacked it might have been looking for? Like any particular attention paid to anything?
You come to the conclusion as you've been looking around that maybe this person's just disorganized.
Oh, that's fair. Okay. Legit. That's funny. As they leave that place, Biri's going to say, I don't necessarily know that werewolves are evil in general, especially if they've been living here for years. You know, we have some weird people in our village, had some weird people in our village. I don't think any of them were werewolves, but if there's wolves protecting the place, it just feels off here. It feels strange now. That's all.
I mean, I have no qualms if they were just protecting, even if they were werewolves. I don't know, like, I don't know. I just want to figure out how that guy died, bottom line.
How he died, not how the priestess died. He died by hanging.
Well, that's what I'm sorry, but yeah, the priestess.
Got it.
Just a motive and reason for all this, even if it turned, just whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Spent too much time to not follow through with it.
Quint?
You want to know what I think happened?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if they found him, and by him, he's referring to Trammell, covered in blood over the body, and he was trying to say that he didn't do anything, maybe somebody set him up.
If he was a werewolf, would he know he did something? I don't know anything about being a werewolf. Maybe you don't know what you're doing.
I don't know. I'm assuming maybe he wasn't a werewolf. Just happened to find her.
They saw him change. Right, Andrew? Out of character? They saw him change?
Yes.
They saw him change. He was a shifter of some kind.
Frankly, I'm almost willing to believe that Mr. Hearth is a werewolf and Nero's a werewolf.
Yeah. That's why I was really looking forward to seeing Mr. Hearth's place.
And
the question is,
and Mrs. Hearth looked really, really like dubious more than the others when I asked about that book.
the question is if they're werewolves, are they what's endangering the place? As far as I'm
Honestly,
concerned.
that's what I'm hoping to find out. None of us knows jack shit about werewolves, so basically this is more about trying to learn what the fuck they are than anything.
Just be careful what you say. If the other villagers are on edge, there's no need to put ideas in their head that I killed him without believing a single thing he told them.
Yeah, I know. That bothered me. I'm not here to try to get anybody needlessly killed.
She nods. All right, next house.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sorry to distract everybody.
So you guys move on. You come to a small farm. When you knock on the door, nobody answers.
And just let her. Is it unlocked?
Yes.
Quick check for wolf sign before we go in. Give him a chance to get back.
Yeah, you find a few. There are some markings in the trees around the farm itself and on the house.
Okay. Go inside and check.
Nobody's here.
Mhm.
Does that seem normal, or does it seem Like, does it seem like it's a farm, right? So they might be out, like doing farm shit.
Make a wisdom survival check.
Yes.
All of us, or
Oh, I hope so.
Any of you, doesn't really matter.
Biri's not the one who should be making wisdom survival checks.
I was just needing to know if I needed to go back to my computer desk.
I got a 90
can-
roll. Good both of you. Wow. Wow, guys.
I got a 8.
I got a 5 because I rolled a 1.
Oh my god, Vaughn.
It's okay. We just don't know how to survive it.
Hilarious. Don't you have any real dice?
You find
Just use your real dice, buddy.
Andrew said we're not allowed to use our real dice because he doesn't trust us.
Can you trust
you
Vaughn?
find no such evidence that
Okay.
Anything is amiss. Make a wisdom perception check for me, please.
Who?
All of you.
Perception.
Oh, good. I'm real good at that. I got a +0 again.
$22.
18.
19.
Anton, you notice that there is absolutely zero livestock on the premises. No horses, no chickens, no dogs or cats.
Let's go to the barn.
There is not a barn.
Oh, was there anything out here at all? Or was it just the farmhouse itself?
It's a farmhouse. There's plenty of but even then, most sort of livestock.
If you guys notice there's no livestock here?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for a farmhouse?
Now you mention it. There's wolf sign, though.
Yeah.
The wolves stayed away from the farmers with the sheep and the goats and came here. That seems,
Their
awful
farm is
polite.
also right on the edge of the woods.
And the other one was not, right?
Yes.
Seems polite. Not necessarily out of the ordinary, considering it's here on the edge of the woods, but...
Yeah, but do you think there'd be chickens or something? Even if they're, cooped up. Hate to say the pun, but... something.
Sure.
There's not even, hen houses or anything.
And the place inside didn't look ransacked, right?
No.
Well, I wonder where... We'll have to come back around dinner time and see if they're here and can answer some questions, huh?
Yeah. Move on to the next house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is this one... we're going to look for... Whose
The
house?
hearth home?
Yeah. Is the
Yes,
next house the
this is
hearth home? Okay.
The next one, or the one we were just at?
This one.
Okay.
Oh, this one's the hearth home. Interesting. So they're a farming family.
No, the one that you're about to go to is the hearth home.
Okay. Got it. Thank you. Sorry, got all excited. Calm down now.
So this one is housed in a farm, and when you get here and knock on the door, it is answered by a young woman. She looks very out of place, given the rest of the town. She's delicately beautiful. She does not seem well suited for life in the wilderness. And yeah, she tells you that her parents are out.
Did she give a name?
Pauline.
It just gives her like this small smile because I have to play up my flaws.
For her part, she gave a flirtatious wink.
So how long have you been here, Pauline?
All my life.
And your family? Your parents, were they born here as well?
My mother grew up in... only moved here because she loved Gar so very much.
She grew up where?
In West Haven.
How did she meet Gar?
Was in town. They met. Sparks flew. Now here I am in Winterwood.
How do you like it here?
I hate it.
Why do you say that?
No one suits me.
Hey, what?
No one in this town suits me. My mother grew me up with proper etiquette. Quite refined, if you didn't notice.
Oh, I've noticed, trust me.
For the record, her etiquette has been better than I am currently portraying, but she clearly knows her how to be a lady.
Mm-hmm.
Your father's family's from here?
My father's from here.
Biri looks distressed again. Where's everybody's fucking family around these parts? Does no one have any ties to the land? She's like, where's your father's family?
Live in lizard colonies.
Did she say lizard colonies?
No, the DM said lizard colonies.
That's racist.
Oh, I'm a lizard. I'm a lizard colony.
That's racist. That's unbecoming of a lady.
DM said it, not the lady.
I know.
What is the lady's answer?
Do you ask why does no one have ties to the land?
Oh, no. She asked, where's your father's family from?
And she said, not here. My father's from here.
He grew up here?
Grandpapa and Grandmama died before I was born, so...
She nods. Makes a mental note. All these shiftless wanderers. Family doesn't even go back one generation.
So if you could be anywhere, where would you be?
Anywhere but here.
Hmm.
But my father won't hear of it.
Why not?
Wants to lay down roots in the town, as it were, I suppose, she says, looking at Biri pointedly.
Can I roll to not look approving?
Does that make you mad?
No, it makes me annoyed.
Biri looks approving. Very polished. She looks super improving. Good, put down some fucking roots. Where are you running off to? She doesn't say it. Her face does, though.
Well, Pauline, you probably already know, maybe because your mother might have told you, but we're just doing some investigations for on behalf of Edward, and he has given us permission to go where we must and see what we need to see. So, if you don't mind, we're just gonna take a look around at some things and be on our way. Is it okay?
I can't stop you.
He just smiles. Thank you. And then he'd like to look around very thoroughly.
Okay. You don't find anything particularly useful.
Okay. How about around the outside?
You find no signs of animalistic behavior.
Oh wait, we didn't? Are in the Hearth household?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I'm on the wrong part. Got it. Okay, no signs.
Pauline, does your father have any favorite hunting grounds?
I'm sure. I never ask him about it. I don't care about such things.
Oh. Does he have a room dedicated to his hunting? I don't know what the layout of the house is. I don't know if it's like one big room or what.
I mean, it's there are several rooms, but there's not like a. It doesn't look like he keeps trophies of his kills. He's pretty practical about it.
Okay. Okay. Well, I think we've seen all we need to see.
Did you see anything you like?
Yes.
Nice.
Maybe I'll come back later for that.
My father's here.
Hmm.
That would only be proper.
That would be. Anyways, good day to you.
She curtsies.
Yeah, he
Pleasure
gives
to
a
meet you.
small bow. And Anton walks out. So that was not on the main. Those are not the houses not on the main thoroughway, right?
Yes.
All right. So we found wolf sign in the shack, in Hubert's shack, near Hubert's shack. We found wolf sign.
At Tremel's and at the church.
Mm-hmm.
We also found it at the farm.
Mm-hmm. I think we need to talk to Hubert and the farmer. See if they seem to know that they're in danger or might be in danger.
Well, we can check out the rest of the houses while we have a chance. Maybe, like you said, come back at dinner time or close to.
Before we leave the Hearth House, can we ask Pauline about her neighbors? The unoccupied farmhouse?
She says those are the Giles.
What's that?
Giles? family?
Yes, is that who lives there?
Yes.
What are they like? We missed them. They're out.
They're out.
Mm-hmm.
Are they not usually?
They weren't
out?
home.
I mean, someone should be there.
How many of them are there?
3 of them. Pert, Ginny, and their son, Ethan.
Hmm. When was the last time you actually saw them there?
Well, I mean, they live a little ways away. I don't go visit them or anything. Suppose I haven't seen them since incident.
Interesting.
I hope they're all right.
Do they not usually keep livestock on their stead?
No. Why is that strange?
No, just wondered. It is a farmstead. Sometimes there usually is something, but with it being as close as it is to the woods, I could understand.
Maybe they were taken by the werewolves.
Maybe.
I hope not.
Or maybe they were accomplices and ran away.
We'll do all we can to make sure they're safe.
Werewolves.
What?
But not if they're werewolves.
Not if they're monsters. Of course. We wouldn't leave the village in danger. She sounds a little bit offended that they probably didn't suggest such a thing.
What do you do?
What time is it?
Like before noon?
Oh, early. Okay.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was just making sure. All right. So, I guess we'll check out the next closest place.
Okay. So you've looped back around to the other side. Let me see. Get my little map.
I'm impressed.
Huh?
So I'm impressed. He's got all this mapped out.
Okay, so you come down and you find a rather large cabin, and when you board, this one's right on the main thoroughfare, on the opposite side of the of Edward's household.
Mm-hmm.
A imposing man with a heavy black beard answers the door, and he says, "So you're the ones looking around at all of the hullabaloo that's been going on."
Mm-hmm. You have any opinions about it?
I saw you. My name is Gregor Sonat.
Nice to meet you, Gregor. I'm Anton. This is Biri and my mate. Well, not my mate, but my friend, Quint.
Friend, very
Now he
much
thinks
so.
we're werewolves. Gay werewolves. Good job. Biri doesn't say that, by the way.
He nods and says, "It's good to meet all of you."
Do you mind if we come in?
Sure. He opens the door and steps back. So it's a 2-room cabin. In the main area, there is pottery and sculptures that it looks like he's been working on, and they are of blisteringly fine quality.
Wow, these are amazing. How long have you been a potter?
I'm a master potter and sculptor.
So you are.
No, that is what the Merchants Guild has.
No, she was agreeing.
Yeah.
All your life, then?
Quite.
And your father before you?
Quite.
She nods her
Give me-
approval.
And my son after me.
Good. So what do you think about
You
everything
see,
going on here?
speaking of, you see a little boy poke his head out of the doorway.
Biri
Of the
gives
other
the little
room.
boy a solemn nod of approval.
When you do that, Grigor sort of imposes himself between you and him, but mainly because it's a strange dragon person nodding his head.
Mhm.
At least that's the idea you get.
She gives him a nod, too. Good job, buddy, protecting your kids. She approves.
It's a strong boy you got there.
So what can I do for you?
Well, as you said, we're just making our rounds, making sure we do our due diligence, and we're making our way up the main thoroughway now, and just stop by to see if we can, take a look around and do our business and then be out of your hair.
While you do that, I'm going to go put my son to his nap.
Yeah, that's fine.
So he steps off to the side and takes his son with him. You are left in a cabin with all of this very fine artwork.
Biri's going to set her shield aside so she's not knocking anything. And then go give it a little bit of attention because she appreciates fine craft work. But she's particularly looking for religious iconography. Because
you don't find it.
with this kind of a craftsman in town, that she didn't notice any particularly fine pottery in the chapel.
Mm-mm.
And that surprises her because common houses of worship tend to be where, communities invest their monies.
Well, you get
And
the feeling
skills.
that being a place of nature, that
Oh, interesting. Okay.
civilization might be a clash. The priestess's room was real bare thread.
Okay, I see. Got it. Fair enough.
This is more lavish.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah. Ant's gonna put a fair amount of looking into in this place.
Okay. You
Is there-
don't find anything that stands out?
Is there a wolf sign outside?
Nope.
I think we should wait till he gets back. I want to ask him about his neighbors. He seems more alert than some of them.
I lied. I lied. You do find like the telltale piss smell outside on the
Okay.
in the rear.
Just in the rear? Okay. Interesting.
Hmm.
Would you not?
Oh, the werewolf?
When he comes back, I want to ask him how long his family's been in these parts, and I hope it's been a while.
Yes, I've been here for some time.
And your family before you?
Yes.
She nods. It's strange to find such fine pottery here. It's nice to see this sort of art, even so far away from other inspiration.
It hasn't always been easy.
I can only imagine. I imagine you sell your pieces.
Benefactor. A merchant wagon arrives in town approximately 4 times a year. I'm paid well for my work.
Of course. Yes, you must be a prominent member of the community here. What did you think of Trammell?
He was a stand-up guy. Bit strange, lived on his own. But he was trustworthy, at least before we found out his nature.
Can I do an insight check on that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, I was proficient in that. Man, I can actually do that. 23 total. Look at me, insight.
He believes what he says.
How do I have a +5?
You're convinced by his earnestness.
Hang on, I think I cheated. I don't know how I could have a +5 on that, because I definitely don't have a +3 in wisdom. Paladins get a special bonus to insight.
Don't worry about it. He rolled high enough.
Okay. Does he seem honest when he says until we found out what his nature was?
Yes.
Okay.
He seems a little pained, like that news is sad to him.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever heard of anything like this happening in the history of the village?
No.
One of the others said that the wolves have stopped howling. The wolves around the village have stopped howling since that night.
Very strange.
Has it ever happened since your family's been here?
Been around.
Sorry, what was that? Cut out.
The wolves have always been around. Maybe they're finding the situation in ill omen themselves and gone off to better places. Or maybe a party of reckless adventurers has come and slaughtered them all. We don't know. We don't know.
Oh, are we very far from how? Are we within the range of a wolf's territory from where we were before?
Werewolf territories can span hundreds of miles.
Oh,
I'm just joking, but
oh,
yeah.
Fuck, I was gonna ask one more thing. Hang on, we were trying to remember. Slaughtering people, wolves. Fuck. I don't remember. Oh, the wolfsbane. The wolfsbane and the rope. Whose idea was that?
Yeah, that was some shit, wasn't it?
I think that was Check's notes.
Funny, I never met a Check's Notes that sounds awfully like a deed name. Werewolves!
Oh my god, now I want the deed gnome checks note. The deed gnome? A, I want a deed gnome. And B, I want the deed name checks notes.
Rachel Mindy.
Sounds like a glass walker.
Who's that? Where does she live?
She's the local alchemist. She's over there. He points out the window.
To any of the houses we've been to?
No.
Okay.
What about the
Mindy?
Giles? What do you know about them?
Of the what?
The Giles.
Farmers.
Do they tend to stick to their home quite a bit, or are they?
I mean, doesn't everyone? Everyone who's a family, anyway.
I just know when we talked to Pauline Harth, she had mentioned, when we had mentioned who they were and that nobody was there, she seemed surprised that nobody was.
No one's there.
Yeah.
That's ominous.
Does he seem alarmed?
He seems jaded. Like, as alarmed as he can be.
Interesting, okay. Thank you, Mr. Sonnet.
Anytime.
She glances at the other two.
Mm-hmm. Yep, thank you. Yeah. He'll walk out.
Let's swing quickly by,
Mindy's?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that seems like a really good idea.
Okay.
Okay.
They go to Mindy's.
So,
Before we go in, can we check it for wolves? Sign too.
Yeah.
the house has no signs of markings.
Okay.
Anything else that stands out, though?
Wolfsbane here.
No. Not outside.
Okay. You knock on the door.
No one answers.
Is the door unlocked?
Yes.
Go inside.
Okay. So when you head inside, it's pretty large. There are several rooms. It's pretty clear that there are children here that live here.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really find anything. Roll me an investigation check.
Wait.
14.
Quint?
Robbie, you muted?
8, yeah, sorry. Unskilled gets 8 and no higher. Damn it.
And you happen to notice that the place is very clean. In fact, it's spotless.
For a woman who has kids, this place is pretty spotless. Like, does it have the telltale signs of being recently cleaned, or?
Yes.
Go in and check her bedroom, or what looks like to be the adult bedroom.
Spotless.
What about the rest of them?
Very clean. In fact, almost obsessively compulsive. Like, the blocks are stacked just so. Like kids' blocks.
I'll be interested to meet her.
Bit obsessive, you think? But cleanliness is next to godliness, apparently. But it doesn't keep the wolves away, apparently.
Well, there's no wolf sign on the outside.
No.
One thing you will notice is that there's a cabin directly behind this house, off the street.
Let's go meet whoever that is.
Yeah.
So whenever you step inside, the walls of this small cabin are lined with long, flat tables, each is covered with a maze of stopper bottles, mortars and pestles, vials of different colored solutions, candles, and trays smudged with paste, oils, and lotions. In one corner stands a small, neatly made cot. Several large tomes are stacked on the floor near its foot, and there is a woman here, busy at work with her alchemy.
Miss Mendy?
And she looks over Mendel.
Mendel.
Mendis.
Oh. Thank you.
She looks over. Oh, hello. I didn't hear you come in.
Hi. Sorry if we startled you.
What are you doing in my place of business?
Wow.
We have a few questions.
You make a habit of just barging in?
Sometimes.
That, I guess.
Kind of does. Biri looks sheepish.
Well, you can take Edvard for that. He told us we can do what we need to do. No offense.
Well, I'm glad to know I know who I can bitch at later.
Yes.
Biri's starting to like her.
Well, what is it?
But,
We came to ask you about werewolves.
Werewolves.
Mm-hmm.
Averse to wolfsbane.
Is that all you know? Nothing else that might be helpful?
I've also heard that silver hurts them.
She nods.
Is there anything else you needed?
So you're the wise woman here.
I'm here doing alchemy. You were here talking.
Yes, ma'am.
What would you like to know?
Did you know much about the priestess?
No.
She nods.
Faith was more effective than medicine. Never really liked her sword.
Biri shuts up.
Not happy she's dead, mind you, but
Of course.
did you have a chance to look at the book that they found?
no, I have no interest in such things. Why?
Just asking. You seem like a learned woman. Just want to know maybe if you had a chance to look at it.
Not sure what they're expecting to find. More witch hunts.
More witch hunts? Has it happened before?
No, it's the paranoia sweeping the town. You find one, clearly there must be more.
Maybe.
This hasn't happened before, then.
No.
And you didn't find any sign that there might have been anything that might have caused this? If werewolves, maybe some new silver in the chapel or something that might have set him off? If he's been here some time.
I know a few things. That doesn't mean I know how they are, or where they come from, or what they do.
She nods. The town is lucky to have the things you know.
Certainly.
She flatters.
Now, is there anything else?
Yeah, do you usually have Gar or Mr. Nero bring you back anything on their hunts?
No. That's what my apprentice is for.
Your apprentice?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Where are they at?
Mr. Crowell. I assume he's out gathering some herbs and other things.
What was his name?
Crowell.
He must be a trial to you.
He's a good apprentice. He's willing to study hard and do what he's told.
But a bit of a mess, we heard. She lies. Oh, can she lie? Maybe she's not lying.
Roll me a charisma persuasion check.
Okay. Persuasion or deception?
Persuasion.
Okay. 3 plus 5. Oh, 20 total. Not natural.
I don't know what you've heard about him, but he's not really like other alchemists.
What do you mean?
Most of my colleagues that I know, like those in West Haven, are driven individuals who are obsessed with understanding the scientific basis of nature and altering its processes. Crowell is a hard worker. He doesn't seem to have the natural inclination towards that sort of work that most alchemists show. That's all. He's dedicated. He does his job.
So
His is a little... Sorry.
Go ahead.
His is a little house by the Giles farm. Yes?
He's here. Points to the cot.
Oh. I see.
I'm gonna guess you live over there?
Who lives beside the Giles family? The shack that was unoccupied is what she's asking about.
He's a woodsman.
Ah. She seemed to have an opinion about him. I'm asking because that place was super disheveled, but also had a bunch of mushrooms and herbs.
Yeah, sometimes he brings me things. He goes out with my husband, Rick.
Rick.
The funny thing is that I'm guessing that you guys have completely misspelled all of these names because I have them in awful, nonsensical ways of spelling.
They are all misspelled in the game notes tab. You're welcome to fix it later.
No, that's what I was saying. Like, you have them spelled the normal way. Like, Rick is R-I-K, not C-K.
Yes. Who did she say was the guy in the shack?
Fincher.
Fincher, okay. Hard worker, not your usual alchemist. Do we have the amulet still?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who this is? And she's going to nudge.
Yeah, he pulls it out, opens it up, and shows her.
Nope. Never seen him before in my life.
Nudge. Thank you for your help.
Anytime.
We're just gonna look around, if you don't mind. Finish
Don't
up and then.
touch anything.
Sure.
I'd hate to have to.
Oh.
It's for your own safety, really.
Yes, ma'am. Appreciate the warning. Thank you.
Does this place have the same kind of tidiness as the house, as our house?
Yes.
Okay.
She's
So
a clean freak.
But everything yeah, okay. Is there anything on the inside or the outside that's off-putting? All right. Well, that's all there is here. Check the next building.
Yes.
Okay.
Biri wants to keep an eye as they walk around if she can spot towards the places that were unoccupied, the shack and the farmhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of keeping an eye out for signs of people there.
Okay, so the next shack, when you enter it, there are two women that live here. The cabin's main room is filled with pellets. They let you in. The cabin's main room is filled with pellets, traps, and dozens of stuffed and mounted rabbits, beavers, and badgers. A closed cabinet stands near one wall. Hanging from the walls are deer, cougar, and bear heads. And this area very much looks like a hunter's trophy room. The women let you in, and they are taxidermists, trappers.
Did we find any wolf sign outside?
No.
Yes?
No.
Okay. Do you ever run into wolves in the woods?
Not for a while yet, lately, says Inga.
Years, you think?
I'm sorry?
Years, you think? Since it's been a problem?
No, they've disappeared in the last few days.
Oh, I see. It was a problem sometimes before that.
They were relatively abundant. Not necessarily a problem.
I see. They've disappeared. So I'm looking to see who else. Yeah, okay. And you've had no other, since they've disappeared, you've had no other predators showing up, more bears.
No.
She nods.
Do the hunters usually bring you these, or do you guys go out and trap them yourselves?
We don't need any man's help. We have plenty enough skill between the two of us.
A lot of girl power. I don't think this village can handle it.
Does he say that? They're just gonna smack him upside the back of the head.
Here's a smite. Here's a smite.
I mean, that was supposed to be a compliment, Biri. Oh. Jesus.
Please forgive Anton. I'll take him out back later. Glare at him for a while.
I'm sorry. It's just been a long day. Anyways, I don't think
Do you know your neighbors very well?
Yeah.
Everyone.
Can you tell us about the hearths? Simone and Gar and Pauline.
What do you want to know?
Where's Gar from?
Oh, he's from out of town somewhere. I think.
Where's Pauline got her heart set?
Anywhere but here.
That's fair. Do you have any ideas?
Truthfully, she doesn't really talk to us. We're a bit more
Of course. No, that makes sense.
more buddies.
Your families are from here?
Yes. They both say.
She nods approvingly. Glances at Quint and Anton.
Do you know anything about the timetable of when, Gar and Mr. Nero might go out hunting?
They go when it suits them.
And what about the Giles? Some say they were pretty surprised that nobody's there. So there, at least somebody's always there, but when we checked, there was nobody there. Does that seem...
That's strange.
Yeah. Who's usually there, the little boy?
Someone. It's very difficult to leave a farm for any given period of time. How long have they been missing?
That I don't know.
Well, hopefully they're just out of sight. You just missed them.
That's what we figured.
Do they do anything else around the town other than farm? Maybe they have other interests, hobbies?
Not that I know of, but I'm sure they do.
What do they usually deal in as far as contributing to the village if they have no livestock?
A pretty good haul of crops.
Friendly sorts.
Mm-hmm.
She nods.
What's your opinion of Edward and his wife?
He's a good man, reliable, friendly. Speaks to outsiders like you very easily and well.
Nothing you would find strange about him?
Nope.
If you say anything I didn't hear.
No.
Same. Do we lose him?
I said no.
Oh.
frustration. All right, well, thank you for your time. I think that's all we had.
As they leave that house, Biri's going to say, I think we ought to rest and do some wandering about tonight.
Are you not going to search their house?
Oh, we didn't
Yeah, I
find
was gonna
signs.
search it. I was gonna search it on the way out.
You searched outside, but
Oh, I see.
before that's...
Oh, got it. Sorry. We're going to search it with them standing right there?
Yeah, fuck it.
I mean, you've been doing it to everybody else.
Yeah,
Okay, fair
I
enough.
don't give a fuck. We be given like total permission to do what the fuck we want.
Okay, it's fair.
But yeah, we'll search it on the way out.
Okay. So roll me an intelligence investigation check.
If these ladies are werewolves, they'd be doing more than just eating beavers.
Fun.
Giggity.
Oh my goodness, stop being a fucking neckbeard. Got a 15.
And
Is that an attack roll against Anton?
Not yet.
I had to hold back some jokes earlier.
It was wise.
I got a 6. Keeping
Good.
with the normal.
You're so busy looking up people's skirts and making beaver jokes.
I didn't look up anybody's skirt.
Okay. You search around
Odd.
Avon's room. You get the musky scent of urine.
Oh,
And when you're searching Inga's room, you find a full-size stuffed wolf under her bed.
under her bed.
Hmm. Is there anything strange about it? Like the way it looks? Any markings?
Nope, it is a stuffed wolf.
Fully grown or
Hmm?
fully grown?
Yep.
Tell me you're going to pull that shit out.
Yep.
And ask about it.
Whose room was this? Inga's?
Mm-hmm.
what was-
in there. She's in there with you, by the way.
Oh, good.
Aunt pulls it out, puts it on the bed. How is this under the bed?
Oh, that. Well, Avon detests it. She flies into a rage every time she sees it. It's best kept out of sight, out of mind, I guess.
Is it Inga? Or your friend, your mate, friend?
Friend.
What's her name again? I'm sorry.
Avon.
Aunt grabs it and then comes out and shows it to Avon.
Oh no. Here we go. She just grabs it and shows it to Avon. Okay, here we
He
go.
pokes the head out first and then follows behind.
Such an asshole. Huh?
Avon, what's the problem with this wolf?
Did we lose him?
What's up?
Did we lose Andrew?
I think so.
Fire rages in her eyes, and the brazenness of you flaunting it And she just turns and storms out of the building. Slams the door behind her, and Inga just sort of like closes her eyes and goes, "Well, that was awfully rude."
Rude but interesting.
Anton?
That is the most blatant, like, that was the most interesting thing that's happened all day.
We're not here to interest ourselves. Why does she hate it so much?
I don't know. Says it's a crime or something. Maybe she likes wolves. I don't know. It's a beautiful animal.
It is.
How long have you had it?
A few months.
How did you kill it?
It's caught in a trap.
I see. Does that happen very often?
No.
She nods. I'm sorry we've created strife in your house.
Are you kidding me? I'm not.
Well, such is life.
Can I borrow this?
She'll get a why?
Because I need it for my investigation.
Why do you need a stuffed wolf for your investigation?
I'm collecting evidence.
What sort of evidence are you collecting with the stuffed wolf?
Probable cause.
There's her eyes.
That's fine. I'll leave it here.
Anton.
Hey, look, I'm
Sleep with one
sorry.
eye
I'll
open tonight.
put it back under the bed. Are you threatening me?
No.
Are you threatening me, Inga?
What?
That's what I thought. All right. Putting this back under the bed.
She looks at Biri helplessly.
He's putting it back under the bed. I apologize. We'll go.
Anyways, thank you for your time.
Sure.
And Ant is going to go outside and try to follow Avon.
She's standing outside.
Oh. So what's the deal? Why does that
Excuse
make
me?
you? What's the deal? Why does that make you upset?
Fuck off.
And you are about as sensitive as fucking nail.
You can't be a flower in the wind all the time.
Do I look like a flower in the wind?
Look, she's a grown
Go
adult.
explore something.
Go explore something?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll be back.
When he is out of sight, she's going to say, I apologize.
It's not yours to apologize for.
What'd she say?
It's not yours to apologize for.
I'll stop him next time.
She turns and goes inside, slams the door behind her.
Biri's going to reach out a hand to stop her, not to grab her, but to try and stop her.
She doesn't stop.
Okay. She goes tromping after Quint, after Anton. Now, what did we get out of that?
Did you see her reaction when I showed her that? Like, murderous rage?
It was precisely what her friend said it would be.
Yeah. I want to see it for myself.
Anton, those are people's feelings.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta be a little harsh. Provoke people sometimes. We've been really nice throughout this whole thing, this whole time we've been here. And that's probably been the strangest thing all day. Other than the wolf pee and clawing. And maybe I was trying to provoke her. Maybe I was trying to hope maybe she would, go into some kind of rage and attack me. Maybe shift. Who knows?
You know, I hope. Was that what you were trying to do?
Yes.
She's going to glance at Quint and make sure he's kind of circled up and paying attention with them. Is that our goal then? Do we want to drive them out? There's been wolf sign all over this place.
I'm just trying to get answers, and I'm really not getting much of anything.
Answers by themselves are quite possibly people's lives.
Maybe.
If we get half answers, people might die. We need to be careful that we get full answers before we make a mess. That's what I think. No?
Let's continue our investigation.
She nods. Glances back towards the shack in the farmhouse to see if there's anybody there.
I mean, those are ways away.
Okay. How many more we have?
Well, there's a nice big mansion across the street.
There is? There's a fucking mansion here? How did we miss the mansion?
It's right there in town.
Huh.
Let's check the outside of it first.
Seems wise.
You don't see anything.
Knock on the door.
A man in fine attire opens the door, looks at you all, and says, "Yes, can I help you?"
Yeah, we're doing an investigation on behalf of Edward into the werewolf or the shape changer matter, and this house was next on the list of houses to check. Do you mind
Master
if we're allowed
Bissell. Master Bissell does not accept visitors.
Well, from what I understand, Mr. Kidditch speaks for the village, and
Mr. Kidditch does not speak for Mr. Bissell.
Can we make an appointment?
You hear a voice behind him, behind the man go, "Oh, let them in." And as you guys enter, that's where we will end this session. Hopefully a tiefling will be there.